y'all, Miss L here with your tip of the day to completing your college apps in 15 minutes or less a day. So hopefully you watched the video from yesterday. It was all about listing out all your activities, sports, clubs, volunteer work, hobbies, family responsibilities, awards, honors, all that, right? And hopefully you'll come up with more as we talk more about how to fill those out. Okay, now we're not going to be filling in the 350 UC description just yet. We're going to be doing some brainstorming. FYI, when those applications go live, where you're actually putting things into the computer, they're going to ask you like how many hours a week and weeks per year you do that activity. Just estimate, right? It's just an estimate. If you're like, this is something I do all school year and I spend like at least 10 hours a week doing it, that's different than if you're like, oh, that's an activity I did once 1 year for an hour, right? So they're just looking to see your commitment. Big thing for colleges, they want to see that you're committed to things. They want to see what level of commitment you're doing. Don't lie, just estimate about how many hours a week, weeks per year you're doing that. So you don't have to do that now, but when you go to fill that out, just know they will be asking you that. Now, for your list, pick one. I'm just going to talk about how to fill in the description of that, okay? If you have a volunteer job or a job, volunteer work or a job, they're going to ask you to describe that. Don't stress about it. That's just like in case they've never heard of that volunteer opportunity or that company where you interned. They just want a description of what it is, just so they have an idea, right? But for everything you do, they're going to ask you, like, what did you do? Okay? So that's what we're going to talk about today. We want to go a little deeper into just what you did. So I'm going to tell you what you can add to that to kind of fill it out to make you stand out a little more than everybody else filling in for that same activity probably that they're doing. So find the one that you spend the most time in. If that's a sport, if that's a volunteer thing, if that's a club, is that a hobby, a family responsibility, of a job? And you're just going to go, okay, do I have a role? Like, are you the president? Are you the treasurer? Do you actually have a role in that thing? I'm the captain. Do you have an unofficial role? Maybe you don't have a role, but you're like, I'm the one who welcomes all the new team members. That's a role, right? So you can put that in the box that also is like, what's the name of the activity? Because you get 60 characters. You can also throw in the role that you have. Captain, soccer team, right? And they're going to ask you what years you did that to, right? Was that 1 year? Was that all 4 years? And then they're going to ask you like what you did. So I want you to just brainstorm what you did, like actual responsibilities, right? Like I took meetings, right? Or the attendance, the meetings of the meetings, what are they called, right? You took the notes, right? You did fundraising, right? You led warm-ups, right? You picked up groceries for your grandparents, right? Like list out everything you actually did. And if you can, quantify that. That means give it a number. Like, did you fundraise? How much money did you fundraise, right? How many activities did you plan for that daycare that you volunteered at, or, right? So try to give it a number if you can, right? How many people did you recruit to that club? Was it 5? Was it 10? Give it a number. Numbers stand out in those descriptions. Okay, so you're going to list out the things you actually did, okay? And I also want you to list out what you learned. That might be hard skills like organization, learned how to use Excel, learned Python language, right? List out those things that you actually learned, right? But then also there's some soft skills like learn that I'm not a big people person, right? Or learned how to budget my time management. List out anything that you think you changed, right? Doing that activity. And also, does that, anything from that activity, anything you learned, transfer to other areas of your life, right? The budgeting I learned as secretary for this club, I actually transferred over and helped me budget out my money for senior year activities, right? The mediating skills I learned as president of this club actually helped me mediate arguments between my siblings, right? Anything where it transferred over. And then I also want you to write down, like, why do you do it, right? Like that volunteer work. Is it just because you're required to do a certain amount of volunteer hours, or why do you choose to spend your time in those things? This is just a brainstorm. It's going to help you fill out your activities list, like actually for the activity list in the application later, but it's also going to help you do a little brainstorming for those PIQ questions you're going to have to answer for UCs and other supplementals for the Common App, and also your personal statement for the Common App. So just spend like 15 minutes on that number one activity. Like, what do you do? What have you learned? How has that helped you in other areas of your life? And why do you do it? Just so that tomorrow when I tell you how to break it down a little bit more to fit in that 350 character description or 150 character description, you're hitting the most important things about it. Okay, so just spend 15 minutes really digging into that activity. Okay, you got this. less than 15 minutes.